Hi everyone, thanks for joining this webinar. In this meeting, I'll talk about firstly how networking can give you an unfair advantage in your job search, and then secondly, tell you how Mentat as a platform can help you in your prospects as well. So, just by starting out, a brief introduction about me. My name is Saad Rizvi. I'm one of the co founders at Mentat. I was formerly an SVP at Pearson Financial Times and an engagement manager at McKinsey. I've also taught at Harvard University's Ministerial Leadership Program. Over the course of my career, I've hired hundreds, if not thousands, of people. And so now we started this company to basically use that knowledge and help you primarily accelerate your job search. So, would love to help you in any way possible. Here's a link to my LinkedIn. Feel free to add me as well if you'd like to reach out directly. So, to start with, what does Mentat do? Essentially, Mentat enables you to get your target jobs rapidly through networking. We're a Silicon Valley based company focused primarily on building technology. We're backed by some of the best investors in the world, such as Y Combinator. And you can read about us in TechCrunch, Forbes, and a bunch of other publications. So, if you take away anything from this presentation, it would be the insight on this slide, which is networking with hiring managers gets 10 times better outcomes than traditional job applications. So, let me explain that a little bit. When you traditionally go and apply to jobs online, you would expect a 2% response rate. This means only 2 out of 100 jobs that you apply to will result in you being called for interviews. The key insight which we found was that if you not only apply to the job, but you also send out a personalized networking email to the decision maker, which could be a recruiter, which could be a hiring manager, it results in a 6 times better response rate. So instead of 2%, you get a 12% response rate in your interview calls. What we found out, which was even better, was that if that personalized email is to someone who you have something in common with, which could be they went to the same university as you, which could be that they're interested in the same sports team, some sort of affinity network, that response rate goes to 20%. So you go from getting 2% response rates to 10 times higher response rates and getting interview calls from all over the place. And we basically built Mentat around this key insight. And I'll tell you how that works. Basically, Mentat is on one side a database of all of the available job opportunities on the internet. So we partner with all of the major job boards and have 100 million plus jobs on the platform at any given point in time. And then on the other side, we also have a database of all of the hiring managers and recruiters basically across the world, which we get from a variety of proprietary sources. And our secret sauce is around using artificial intelligence to help you not only find the right decision maker for any job that you're interested in, but also contextualizing that in a way which will be helpful to you. Finding the hiring manager who will give you a step ahead, who went to the same university as you or can refer you in. And this kind of secret sauce is what we use to give you the advantage in your job search. The way we work is something you can do manually on your own as well. The whole process of finding the right hiring manager and reaching out to them is something which the best job seekers do on their own, but it's a very time consuming and complex process. So if you were to do this process on your own, this is what you would do. Step one, you would look across dozens of job boards to find the right opportunities for you. You would organize the job search and structure the process to be able to continuously apply to these jobs across a bunch of boards. You would then look across Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, a bunch of places to find and identify the right recruiter or hiring manager. Then once you identify the right person, you would spend a bunch of time trying to find the email address of that person, which is not easy either. Then you would have to write personalized emails. And personalization is key because these people get a lot of emails. So sending personalized emails that explicitly talk about why you're interested in the role is really important. And then you'll send out those emails and track conversion to interviews. So the 10 times lift that I explained, you can achieve that on your own if you go through all these steps, but it's a very time consuming and complex process. So at Mentat, we take this process and reduce it to two simple steps. The first one, you add jobs from opportunities you're interested in. And then secondly, you introduce yourself directly to the hiring manager. Now, in step one, as I mentioned, we have millions of relevant job openings across industries and geographies, and we use AI based algorithms to match you with the right jobs and the right people based on what you have in common with them and their preferences. And then on top of that, we also give you free tools which you can use to just organize your job search and stay on top of it. The second step, as I mentioned, we identify the right hiring manager for the type of jobs you're interested in and get their direct contact information to you. Secondly, we also map out these people according to things that they might have in common with you, such as you guys went to the same university or you're interested in the same type of things, such as sports or TV shows or anything else. And then we take you a step further, which is we even develop automated emails for you to reach out to these people directly. We do that by automatically parsing information about where these people are working, what type of jobs you're interested in, to make this process very simple for you so that you can just focus on pitching yourself to these people and then just show up to interviews. So I'll just take you through the platform now so that you can see it work in action. So once you create an account at Mentat, one of the things we ask you to do is fill out a detailed profile. The reason for this is this profile helps us match you with the right type of opportunities and make sure that we are presenting you with the right types of role in an automated way. You upload your documents, you put in your job preferences, and then you go on to the job feed. The job feed is very similar to a traditional job board. You basically use this to search for opportunities based on keywords, locations, find jobs you're interested in, and add them to your list. Once you add a few jobs to your list, you go to your My Jobs page. My Jobs is where you'll be doing most of the work on the platform itself, and it basically is a dashboard for all of the jobs that are available to you or that you've been interested in. So for example, it shows jobs you've added, jobs you've applied to, jobs for which we have follow-ups available. So you can see that out of 54 jobs, in this particular user's case, we had direct contact information for 53 hiring managers. And then we can track how many emails you've sent out, how many responses you've gotten, and so on. So to use the platform, all you have to do is add the jobs, go to this section where follow-ups available, and click on this button which says contact via email. Once you click this button, we identify the right hiring manager for the job that you're interested in, attach your resume automatically, find a subject which we know is going to make the person open that email, and then also customize the email with very unique information about the particular role, such as this is the name of the position, this is the company I'm interested in, can you give me 10 minutes of your time to tell me more about the company itself? We then ask you to customize this job just a little bit because it helps give a personal touch to the job application and it helps increase your response rates. So you just remove this line, say a little bit about why you're interested in this role, and hit send. Once you hit send, this email will go directly from your Gmail account to the hiring manager. And you can see that email in the sent folder of your Gmail inbox. But the email goes out directly, and after that, you can just track the job opening on an ongoing basis and see what the response rates are and how things are going. We also encourage you to network more generally. Besides reaching out to people about a specific opportunity, you can also network people with people in different companies, in different industries, and ask them for general career advice. So for example, if you go to your My Network section, you'll see once again the contacts we have available for jobs you've added to your My Jobs section. And then if you click on one of the contacts, for example, we give you a range of options to reach out to these people about. So for example, you can follow up with this person about a job you've liked. You can request advice for getting a job at Square, which is where this person works. You can request a general career advice conversation. You can request introductions to other hiring managers, or you can just ask for general networking connectivity. So you pick a template. For example, let's say you want to ask for advice for getting a job at Square. Once again, the email template is being generated and it gets automatically populated. We ask you to customize it just a little bit because we want you to, say something personal, which this person is most likely to be responsive to. And then you just customize that line and send out the email directly from Mentat. Now, if you think that this person is not the right person for you to reach out to, we also recommend and show you other contacts who work at this company. So for example, if you weren't looking for a job in particular in customer support, you can also reach out to the talent manager by clicking on this button. We once again automatically customize, who the email is going to, what the outreach is about, what job you're interested in. So all you have to do is pick the right contact, add a note to break the ice, and hit send. So you can see how we take this very complex, complicated process and reduce it to two very simple steps so that you can focus on just your job search and reaching out to people instead of spending a lot of time jumping from one job board to another and finding people's email addresses and so on. So jumping back into the presentation, these are some of the benefits which you get from this approach, whether you do it through Mentat or you do it on your own. Firstly, you get a 10 times higher return on your job application efforts. So if you spend like 5 hours a week applying to 100 jobs, just by using Mentat and sending follow-up emails, instead of getting 2 responses for them, you can get up to 20 responses. So this is like a 10 times higher return on the time you're investing in your job search. Secondly, if you do take this approach of reaching out to hiring managers, it's going to take you at least 5 minutes per email if you do this on your own. And at Mentat, as you just saw, you can do the same thing even better in just 30 seconds per email and get really high efficiency. The third thing, which is really important for you to understand, is that increasingly the way to get new jobs is through networking and targeted outreach. It's not through job boards. It's not through applying to jobs through a career fair. It's increasingly going to be through networking, especially in the next 5 to 10 years. And so learning how to use this approach and deploy it is not just important for you to help you get your next job. It will be really useful for you in the long term when you get the job after that, and so on. And then finally, Mentat also helps you strengthen your network across your industry, function, and alumni. This is also increasingly important. You need to build a presence in your alumni and industry networks to get ahead. And by reaching out to people and networking with them, you'll build your brand name and be able to establish a better presence, which will be useful for you in the long term as well. So this is a two-way street. For you to get success from Mentat, I will need something from you as well, which is firstly, I need you to be very consistent with your job search. Mentat will get you results, but if you don't engage with the platform or send out enough emails on a weekly basis, you will not see these results. So I really need you to be consistent, be active. We recommend applying to at least 10 jobs and sending at least 20 networking emails weekly over the course of the next 2 months when you use Mentat. Now, you can do this in roughly a couple of hours every week. So I would recommend setting aside some time in your calendar, maybe Sunday night, to do this on a weekly consistent basis, because consistency is key in getting good results. The second thing I would say is remember to be personal in your outreach. Never send a completely generic email. It never gets results. Even if you customize just 1 or 2 sentences, and we make it so easy for you to customize, we do half the customization for you. You just have to add one more line and send out the email. You'll get a big, big jump in the response rates. And then thirdly, don't be a stranger. We're here to help you. Our whole company is around helping you get your next job faster. So reach out to support@thementat.com or to me personally if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, or need any career advice. So that's all we have for now. This is my personal email address. As I mentioned, feel free to reach out anytime. We are here to help you get successful and look forward to staying in touch. Thank you.